Hello and welcome to the Triangle Podcast. We've been gone for 2 weeks, but we're back. We just felt really nothing happened.
Not important.
Not at all.
We had the upsets, like that one crazy day of upsets and like nothing else. Like no crazy performances.
Westbrook going off, but
Westbrook being Westbrook.
he's still doing that now.
Yeah. But so how you guys been? It's been 2 weeks. I mean,
pretty good, keeping on the grind, still,
working
watching
hard.
Yeah, watching NBA religiously.
I'm struggling right now. College is destroying me mentally.
It's terrible. I hate every minute.
My last day is Monday. I'm looking forward to having a month off for
letting you guys know once college ends and we got the semester off that 1 month that we're gonna be grinding with these podcasts.
Yes.
You can expect more work, more effort, more everything. It's gonna be better, better quality, everything. But enough about that. Let's talk about what happened. It's been 2 weeks. We have a lot to talk about. One, we had the week of upsets.
Yes.
And it was a whole day, which I think was it the first day ever where every lower seed beat the higher seed?
I think so, yeah.
It was literally from even like the minor games, the Pistons and I forgot who they faced, but Pistons and Hornets. Yeah. Even like the Pistons, it was like every single game of that day.
That really
it was an upset.
Upset?
Well, no, it was just the lower seed.
Oh, okay.
The Hornets are still a good team, though.
Yeah.
I marked down the games that were notable, and we got the Nets beating the Clippers in OT, 127-122.
That was a pretty interesting game, but
Doc Rivers lost his mind.
Rivers.
It's just one of those games where a team that is a lot worse, just comes to play and shots are going in that they're taking.
But Brooklyn?
And, well, who knows, maybe,
Nah, that shouldn't
the
happen.
Clippers,
that should not happen.
Well, the Clippers, they take the night off, basically, but the Clippers got to think about these are the wins that they're going to have to, take, those easy wins, because, to battle the Warriors in the first seed, or even the Spurs in the second seed, that's something that they're going to have to watch out for.
I don't see them as a serious threat. I don't think I could see them. I mean, they did come back around, and we'll get to it. They got some impressive wins. But we had the Bucks and Cavs beating them 118-101. Bucks winning.
And Giannis, shout out to you, bro. You're doing your thing still, leading the team and
what
everything.
What is he, 22 years old? 23?
I think so.
My man is great. He's really putting up some...
He's really going to get most improved
I
player.
seen to argue for him as Defensive Player of the Year, too, because he's averaging, I think, 2.3 steals and 2 blocks. Is right, almost... Like, that man's...
He's one of those guys who are impact play who actually, can change the game on both sides of the ball. There's not many players that can do that. You only have, I would say, LeBron James and KD who, are literally physical specimens who can change the game.
Westbrook, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm talking about guys who are, like, 6'8" and above, who dribble like a guard, can go to the post as much as they want, who can, shoot the jump shot.
Pass.
KD is a threat from... Anywhere in the court, basically.
I agree.
So he's one of those guys who, can just change the game of just their presence on the floor, for a guy who has, I think is 7-foot wingspan.
Yeah.
Honestly, what this tells me is the Bucks we keep talking about Lakers, we keep talking about Wolves. Don't forget about the Bucks.
No.
Oh, no.
They're a young team, and they're rising fast. They've been doing great this year.
Hey, when you got, Jason Kidd as your coach, a guy who, is a Hall of Famer.
He looked like a failure coaching. He coached,
Brooklyn,
yeah.
He got out of there real quick.
I'm sure he's going to get those guys running. When you get guys, who want to play for their coach and actually want to play for wins and be noticed on their division, that's what you're going to get.
Yep, and then we got the Magic against Spurs, and Magic won 95-83. I would just say a bad game for the Spurs. I wouldn't worry.
Yeah. Once again, those are one of those teams that the Spurs should definitely not take teams lightly because they do want to have a battle for that first spot.
Then that was that week of upsets where everything seemed odd. It seemed like we were in a parallel universe. But then the following week we had Clippers Cavs 113-94. This is the start. Well, the Bucks versus Cavs was the start of Cavs losing 3 straight. Then the game after that they lost to the Bulls 111-105. What do you guys make of that?
That's go ahead, Jess.
The Cavaliers are not in trouble. Let me just get that out there. Cavaliers are going to go to the NBA Finals. We all know that. LeBron James is going to lead them to the Finals. There's no one in the East that can compete with them, period.
But do you see flaw in their game? If
Chicago beat them...
This isn't like LeBron was sitting for these. He was actively playing.
And if the Clippers beat them, those are good teams, you know what I mean? So they're going to have some losses on the season there. But I in previous podcasts, I told you the Clippers would beat the Cavaliers in Cleveland. So
You did say that.
I guess they're just both teams are suspect. These guys are incredible teams in their own divisions, but the Clippers, you go out and you beat the Cavs, but lose to teams that are a lot worse to them,
like Brooklyn. Like we said.
I don't know what's up. Everyone says that Doc Rivers is one of the top coaches in the NBA. I'm really questioning that lately.
I mean, he got one ring with us, but like
he has 2 appearances in the NBA Finals. He has 1 win, and to be honest, the team that he beat in Boston, that Laker team, really wasn't even. They were okay.
We were pretty good. That was Kobe. That was Kobe in arguably his prime years.
Correct.
But I feel like that was a pretty easy win for them when they won the first time. But
when we did meet them again, it was a team at full strength. I think that was the greatest Lakers team I was alive to witness. I was present.
Doc Rivers is a suspect coach. I don't he hasn't been to the NBA Finals in
since
5 seasons, 6 seasons?
Yeah, since the 2011 loss.
And you still haven't been to the Western Conference Finals with this super stacked team who they're one of the only teams to actually have the most consistent front four. You know what I mean? With Paul, Griffin, DeAndre.
Even when DeAndre was supposed to leave, he didn't leave.
That's what I'm saying. When you have, usually you're supposed to be getting better over time, but it looks like they're just at a standstill.
And the thing is,
that's the thing always with the Clippers.
Yeah, the thing is, this season they got some good bench players. They got Raymond Felton.
They've always had good bench players.
But this year they even got
they always have good.
Dude. 1 year I remember their bench was an all-star team. They had Josh Smith. He didn't turn out to be anything. But Lance Stevenson, Wesley Matthews, right? Matthews was it?
No, Wesley Johnson.
Wesley Johnson.
That's right.
Austin Rivers, who at the time we thought he was a decent player.
No, they always had a stacked bench.
But this year, I think, out of all the years, I think the Clippers have the best bench they've had in maybe
they had
seasons.
Danny Granger the 1 year.
Not to mention Jamal Crawford.
All these guys who are supposed to bring you to the next level. But Doc Rivers keeps losing to the same teams. The Spurs, the Spurs, the Warriors, or
I feel like Clippers kryptonite is every top team.
Literally, the Warriors and Spurs. Those are the 2 teams that will beat the Clippers every time in the playoffs.
But anything about the Bulls? They beat the Cavs too. I think that's an impressive win.
The Bulls just beat the Spurs.
The Bulls, I was gonna get to that, but we could talk about that right now too. Bulls picked up a win against Cavs and Spurs in the same week. I think that's impressive. And
I didn't think they were gonna make the playoffs.
I was a fan of them going in. I still think now that this is impressive.
That's why that team is so weird to me. Because it's like they don't even have any shooters, but somehow they still come out and win games.
Yeah. Dwayne Wade is looking like the old Dwayne Wade, even with Jimmy Butler running a team. Rondo, he's getting suspended for...
It was 1 game.
Yeah. What did he do for what?
For, I think he said
arguing with someone on the team or something like that.
Coach.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Bulls are going to make the playoffs because they're...
No, they're making the playoffs.
Definitely, because they have Wade, Butler, Rondo.
Well, they're flirting right now. They're 6th in the division.
The Bulls are, I think, the most shocking team to me this season, by far.
Yeah.
I think they're very
impressive.
There,
definitely, yeah.
Well, the most, depressing one is the Pacers, but we'll get back to that somewhere else.
You just led me into it without even knowing. Pacers beat the Clippers. 111 to 102, and this is just Clippers not getting it done again.
You know what happened? This is what I spoke on other podcasts. The Clippers are missing that 3 position so bad.
I don't think. All right, listen. How many positions do you need filled? You got a great point guard. You got a great power forward. You got a great center. You got a great bench. How many positions do you need?
Yeah, but there's an all-star on the Pacers named Paul George.
That's one player
who lit them up that game. I think he had over 25 points. You know what I mean? Yeah. And when you have a position that, you're going to have to double team every time because you don't have a solid 3, that just, opens it up for other players.
There should be no excuse when you got a team like that. You're talking about a team with 1 great player. I'm not saying Pacers don't have a great team. I think they have a great team.
Yeah, they have a great team.
But you're talking about a team that has 1 great player against a team that has 3 and a great bench to go with it as well. I feel like...
That's why I don't feel
just because they're missing 1 link.
I see Blake Griffin not being on this team by the end of the season.
I want to see him off the team, to be honest.
Really do.
You know what I'd love to see him go? Back to Oklahoma. Because he played there in college. Well, imagine he played with Westbrook.
That would be
interesting.
That would be interesting. But it's like, unless they put when they always play Enes Kanter at the center position, that would be kind of interesting.
Are you in Enes Kanter man crush?
Enes
Kanter doesn't start already, so him.
Hey, they've been on a little streak though.
Oh, we can talk about that. Well, we're going to talk about it. But let's go on over to here. We got the Rockets beating the Warriors 132 to 127. Real close.
Insane game.
It was in Golden State, though.
Yeah. Went to double OT.
Which was insane, too.
In the double OT, the Warriors didn't make a shot until, under a minute left in the overtime.
Yeah.
Which was sad. Steph Curry fouled out. Draymond Green fouled out. And it was just James Harden's show.
And Steph Curry doesn't foul out.
Yeah. I think that was the first time.
Draymond Green fouling out.
That's okay.
We can see that.
I think that was the first time Curry fouled out in maybe 2 or 3 seasons.
A very long time.
Yeah.
But that goes to show these guys showed up. The guys on the Rockets, what they need to do if they want to be kind of contenders. Ryan Anderson had 29, James Harden had 29. He was cooking for me on my fantasy. Eric Gordon had 29. Even
the whole team had 29. Damn.
Yeah, right. My bad. Eric Gordon had 23. Okay. But still, that's big. I haven't seen Eric Gordon like this since his
New Orleans days.
Yeah, pre-injury days.
Before that.
Yeah.
I think this is just like the situation with the Bulls beating the Cavs. This is just Rockets proving that they're not a joke either. Rockets been really good,
and they just beat the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight too. So
they came off. They came off to a rough patch in the beginning of the season.
Yeah, of course.
And that happens to everybody. New coaching system. James Harden playing the point guard position.
Yep, I agree.
Quentin Capella is kind of his first year. Acclimated as the center. You know what I mean?
He's putting up great numbers for how young he is at the center spot.
And they're just going to get better.
Yeah. While you were on the Rockets and Thunder, they just played today. We are recording this on Friday the 9th, if I'm correct.
Still 9th,
yeah. J. Cole's album just came out. I'm not promoting it. I don't like it.
Haterade.
But the Rockets just beat the Thunder 102-99. Westbrook, 7th triple-double, just tied Oscar Robertson and Michael Jordan for the most consecutive. I think he just passed LeBron James, if I'm right, too.
Yeah, I think so.
This man is on a mission this year.
Is he locked for MVP?
He has to be. I'm sorry.
At this point, he is.
He has to be.
All right, so what is it called? The NBA National Press, you know what I'm talking about? National Press Association, NPA. They had, you guys want to hear this? They had, guess who they had number 1 for MVP?
Harden.
LeBron James.
Kevin Durant.
Why?
Well, Kevin Durant, you got to see, he is leading that team. The guy's averaging, 27 or 20, 29 and 7.
There,
You know what I mean? And the team is 19-3. But I can't see that when you have such great stars around him. You have four
This is where I see the word, like when I hear MVP, you hear most valuable. Like, if you take one person away from the team, what happens?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't see that in Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
No.
I see that in Westbrook. That's where I think this whole thing always gets misconstrued because I feel like MVP always goes to the best player on the best team. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it shouldn't be like that. It should be a guy who made the most difference on a team. And right now it's Harden. Yeah. It is Westbrook. Yeah. It's not Durant. It's not Curry. I mean, last year, Curry,
they have a great team. You know what I mean? A great movement, but what Russell Westbrook is doing, we haven't seen that in over 40 years.
We haven't seen it since Oscar Robertson. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? And we haven't even seen it. You know what I mean?
I played it in 2K.
I think that season was 1972 or 1974.
Yeah, right around there.
I mean?
That sounds right.
Like, it's ridiculous what this guy's doing, especially in such a league that everyone
actually plays defense.
Yeah,
now.
And everyone's 6'8" and above.
Yeah, and Westbrook getting these triple doubles, talking about most valuable. They were on a 6-game winning streak.
Yeah, and the thing is,
every game they won, he had a triple double.
He's dragging that.
And
team.
The thing is,
really
too, it's not like we would see these numbers on a team that is struggling, who probably are not in the playoffs, because he did have these numbers this season that KD was out. For the majority of the season, yeah. But their team is number 6 in the West, and they're only 2 games.
Tough West division.
Yeah, they're only 2 games. They have the Clippers, the Rockets, and Grizzlies all have 16 wins. They have 14 wins. They're
right there.
They're 2 games behind being number 3 in the West.
Yeah.
So to me, he is getting triple doubles. He's getting
wins.
helping
the team.
You know what I mean?
Well,
and
they're in
beating
playoff contention.
Yeah, and they're not beating scrub teams. They're beating decent teams. They have the Clippers that they've beaten. The Rockets, I'm pretty sure, earlier in the season.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So these aren't scrub teams that they're beating. They're actually contending. We're actually seeing a team that might, win a playoff series.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, they have potential. Maybe if they have the matchup against Clippers, they could. I don't see why they can't beat them.
I mean, if the Clippers lose the series,
I think Westbrook, God forbid any injuries or anything, I think Westbrook in the playoffs is going to be a scary man.
Yeah.
he is going to be a
What did
scary
LeBron
man.
James say? He's like the Energizer Bunny. I've never seen a player that literally runs up and down the court at the
Effortlessly.
speed and
Dunks the ball, passes the ball.
has no regard for his own well-being.
Yeah, that's Westbrook being Westbrook.
I'm just saying,
but-
if he doesn't win MVP, it would be
The
incredible.
NBA is rigged.
It would be incredible.
let me finish the national. So they had Durant, Harden, Westbrook, Curry, then LeBron.
I just don't see how you don't give.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. This only happened one time before someone averaged a triple double. That's one time out of the NBA that's been around for almost 70 years.
But, I'm sorry, did the Big O get an MVP?
I think he won
then?
MVP that season. Actually,
think he might have.
You know what I mean? You're gonna if this guy averages a triple double with no MVP, it would just be an asterisk. Whoever
Yeah.
wins this MVP this season.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just it's a flawed
You know, like
system.
the years that they say Nash should have won that
Yeah.
second MVP, it
Yeah.
was just like that.
I still don't think Nowitzki should have won the MVP, but that's a
Kobe.
different topic. Yep. Well, yeah, but this also was a week of performances.
Yeah.
And Jesus was just talking about how this year so far alone, it's just been like
No one's playing
You've seen
defense.
a 60-point game
Multiple
being dropped.
50-point games.
multiple 50-point games,
Even
crazy
40-point
triple
games,
doubles.
Yeah, guys that
it's
you
been-
regularly don't see get triple doubles or getting triple doubles.
Yup.
I've just never seen such a
High
I'm
frequency.
not sure if it's the lack of defense or just offense is more dominant now.
I just
you
feel
know
like
what I
it's
mean?
the way the NBA is played of today's generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I think holding a team to 95 points is like holding a team to 80 back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just feel like it's just the level of the game is going up. But these performances, we already talked about Westbrook being Westbrook and going off. Then we had Karl Anthony Towns proving why
He's the
he
rookie
is
of
the
the
future
year.
of the year. The
And
future
what,
of the
Chris?
league.
We talking about the Knicks game, right?
Yeah,
He went off with
when he went
52
off.
points.
Do you have the stats, Jesse?
yeah, I'm pulling it up.
What was it? I know he had 50-plus points, and he was going against
He
Kristaps.
made a fool of Porzingis.
Yeah,
oh my god.
you know, and I thought when Porzingis came out that he would be the rookie of the year last season, but Karl Anthony Towns showing that this guy, has the full package of the players in the future. You know what I mean? Like Joel Embiid, like Anthony Davis, who are 7 feet but can shuffle their feet with a light touch.
He had 47 points, 18 rebounds, and 3 blocks.
And that wasn't even OT.
Yeah,
You
no
know what I
OT
mean?
for that game.
They
that-
did lose that game though to the Knicks, which was really close. And
Nick's
I'm
been
glad.
on it lately. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't.
Hey, Knicks are like 5th in the East.
Yeah,
But who knows? All this, I know, jumping off of Karl
Topic.
Anthony Towns topic, but the Knicks, hey, Carmelo Anthony might not be on that team any much
yeah.
longer.
Phil Jackson's been talking hella shit
They
on
said,
Carmelo lately.
Did you see that new report where Phil Jackson was telling me telling that Carmelo holds the ball for too long, and Carmelo didn't even know that until some guy in the press conference was like, "Oh, what do
Told
you
him
think
about
about
it, yeah.
what do you think about Phil Jackson saying this?" He's like, "I don't want to say anything about it because I don't know the full facts behind it, but this is multiple times now. Phil Jackson been like name calling."
I think they should get rid of Melo and trade him for. And I was actually talking to this about with a Knick fan, and he agreed with me that he thinks they should trade Melo for some key assets, some draft picks,
like
and rebuild their team because this team isn't going to win right now. They're doing good,
Yeah.
but they need to start rebuilding.
They
Yeah,
could
I
get
agree.
2 solid players like
And even a pick.
this is because
I hope they get a pick.
I
We don't
forget
have a
what
draft pick this year.
I was reading
I
this.
don't
You
think
guys
so.
don't have another draft pick this year
I don't
either?
think so. No.
You guys are.
I was reading this on like NBA.com that like the NBA now with guys who are not all stars, who are not perennial all stars, they look for the 3-and-D, a guy who could shoot the deep ball and play defense. And you know who guys like that? Nick Batum, Jay Crowder,
Yeah, I heard
Great
about
passers
Jay
as
Crowder.
well.
Portis.
I'd
Like
like
these
Jay
guys,
Crowder on the team.
Yeah, that's what I'm
not
saying.
gonna happen, but
these guys aren't like
Melo on Celtics would be interesting.
these guys aren't all stars, but
That'd be
they
interesting.
have an impact on
Just
the
said
game. They have an impact on the game, and that's why these guys are getting max contracts, like Nick Batum or Chandler Parsons. Even though Chandler Parsons, he got a weak
get him
knee.
out of here.
Yeah,
Get him out of here. Get him out of here. What happened to that man?
Yeah, what happened to
There
his
you
knee?
go.
I don't know who's his agent because that man's getting nasty contracts. Like
Who's everybody's injured in NBA?
that's
But,
that's very true.
Mav Carter.
We had John Wall's performance where
Yes.
he kind of woke everybody
Once
up a
again,
little bit.
that's the suspect numbers. Like I was saying, you have a guy who's
He dropped 52.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a great
and he had 8
all-star.
assists, but they lost.
Yeah, let's just say a great all-star,
Terrible
on a
team.
piss poor team right now. Which
They're sitting at 7-13 right now.
yeah, like that's terrible when you have guys like was Bradley Beal,
Overpaid.
Was it Marcin Gortat, Porter, Marquise Morris? These are guys who know how to play in the NBA, and somehow they're not pulling off wins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
they don't have a bad team.
With
on
Scott
paper
Brooks,
at all.
who's been to the finals, has played
Multiple
on
Western
finals
Conference
teams.
finals,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
So Scott Brooks, I mean,
Yeah.
he's been in multiple Western Conference finals.
This guy
He's been
won Coach of the
really
Year.
good coach, yeah.
You know?
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
I mean, he coached KD, James Harden, and Russell
Yeah,
Westbrook.
maybe he did get lucky.
Yeah.
But you saw some coaches have that effect.
Yeah.
Look at Tony Del Negro. It was the last time you see him.
Tony or Vinny?
That's true.
Oh, it's Vinny Del Negro.
Vinny.
There you go.
Maybe Clippers need him.
Oh, you know who's another great coach I haven't seen? Was Steven Jackson.
Oh my,
That's
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I'm naming all these other players.
Clearly, you don't know your coaches.
Yeah.
What about Mike Brown?
Larry Brown.
No, not Larry Brown.
I know. I hope that was misnamed because I hate that man.
Really?
Isn't he the?
He used to be the captain.
He's the assistant.
Yeah.
I think he's on the Warriors now.
Yeah, he coached Lakers too.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
He did okay.
He got fired
He
in
did
4
amazing
games.
with the Cavs, but
No, I hate him.
Okay.
But he's gonna win a chip. I mean, he's on the
You don't
freaking.
care.
He's assistant coach of Warriors. But Warriors. Wow, that was seamless because Klay Thompson had the most impressive performance of the week.
60 points.
In 29
60
minutes.
in
He
29
dribbled the
minutes
ball 11 times.
and held the ball for 90 seconds.
Now, is this real life? Like,
How did that happen?
You got
How can you
these
see a player
teams
do
on
that?
rookie mode 2K.
now who'd they play?
They ended up playing the Pacers.
Yes, the Indiana Pacers.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Which is pretty bad defense.
Would you have liked Steve Kerr to let him in fourth and maybe hit 70?
All right. Well, the fact that the Warriors beat them by 36.
Well, how you gonna beat a dead horse? Like,
But
you know
still,
what I mean?
I
come on
wouldn't.
now.
I think the chasing history was last year. I think
Yeah.
they're over that.
Yeah.
I don't think it was.
Klay
this.
Thompson just has crazy games. The guy,
29 minutes, 60 point.
Yeah.
Really, like sink that in.
I mean, when he was asked like, "Hey, could you have won for 70 or 80?" He said, "Yeah, possibly." I mean, that's how on fire he was.
I feel like that
during the
guy.
entire
He's
game.
he has to be the king of heat check.
No, literally. He lit. Curry poured ice on him after the game and like celebration, and in the interview he was like, "That's not doing anything. I'm still hot."
Yeah.
Like,
I've just never seen a guy who literally will take like 40-foot jumpers like they're nothing and just splash it. I'm talking about all back iron. The net doesn't even move.
yeah, he's just going
He's
off.
just an
and
amazing-
for a
I'm telling
guy,
you, that's
for
a
a
guy.
guy that started slow.
Yeah.
And that's a guy who could go on a different team, and I'm telling you, be maybe an MVP contender or.
I agree, but he's
also-
inconsistent.
That's very
He's
true.
he's inconsistent because he has 2 other
You
stars next
think?
to him.
I don't know.
This guy goes to a different team like Boston, All-Star, leader of the team,
When
MVP
he's
candidate.
hot, he's hot.
Yeah.
and he
I mean,
can do that multiple times. A guy
It's-
who plays both sides of the court.
with
And
the
people-
60-point game, he's definitely shutting those trade rumors down.
People complain about Curry
Who
chucking.
knows? It just makes him a hot value because you got to remember, next year Steph Curry's contract is up, and they're gonna have to move around a lot of space. And there's a lot of guys on these 1-year
They're
contracts.
gonna re-sign Curry.
That's what I'm saying.
we
You
all know
have
that.
a lot of these guys who on these 1-year contracts. That David West, he's not coming back next year. He's
No.
most likely retiring.
Yeah.
JaVale McGee, I know he's on a 1-year contract. All these other all these other guys who are going to need contract boost, and Steph Curry's going to get money. He's going to get paid.
He's gonna get paid probably over $25 million a year. Yeah.
And where are you going to get that money?
People think
Somewhere.
that Curry chuck when he's hot, man. When Clay's hot, he literally throws up the stupidest shots I've seen
they
in my
swish.
life, and
I
I'm a
agree.
Kobe fan. I know stupid shots,
Yeah, I agree.
but that's just Clay being Clay. But now, teams that are gonna miss something. The Grizzlies were going good, and they just got hit with a
Mike
bad
Conley,
injury
he's
bug.
out
Mike
till
Conley.
when? February, I
But-
believe.
Around February.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said
Told you they would not make the playoffs.
How?
they have
Right
their
now
best.
they're like number 5.
they might fall off heavily.
They're gonna fall off.
Ever
heavily.
since this happened, though, Gasol has been turning
Yeah,
it up.
and
Yeah,
Mark
he has.
and Zach Randolph. I know he was out for a couple games due to a family emergency. I think there was passing in his family. That's a guy who could turn it up, and he's double-digit guy coming off the bench. Yeah, RIP, much love. Zebo, he's a beast. The guy's dropping double digits, probably consideration of a 6th man of the year.
Just played his 1000th game.
Yeah.
No, that guy's an easy double-double. Can play both sides of the court really well.
Is he still coming off the bench?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you
doing well.
So
Yeah.
you think Grizzlies might have a chance of falling off?
They're gonna
what was
fall
that? I
off
think
heavy.
Mike Conley's out for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
No, he's out for more.
Yeah, they're gonna
Like
reevaluate
3
him
months.
after like 6
3
weeks.
months ish.
Oh wow. Okay. I didn't know how.
I just
bad
want
he
to. I
was.
just want to say when we had this whole like D Rose, Knicks, and whole Knicks discussion, you guys said that you rather have Mike Conley on the team with that contract because he wasn't injury prone.
Hey, but we
look
didn't
at this
know.
now.
We
this
didn't know he
backfiring
would
in
get-
your face.
Get that
I'm
much
just
of a,
saying.
of
I'm
an
like-
injury, but that's okay.
But we could debate that, but let's get into this debate. So we're gonna introduce a new topic called Fast Break, and you want to break that down,
Yeah,
Jesse?
I'll introduce it. The name of the topic is Fast Break, like my man Christian said. The rules of this little topic here are I'm going to bring up 3 questions that I thought of. These 2 guys don't know the questions, obviously.
Yep, we're blind to it.
So when I ask them, they're going to obviously answer as quick as they can and defend both statements without any interruptions. And whoever I believe won the argument, I will pick either
Now, do we
Christian or Jesus.
Do we get
what?
5 minutes each, or like
No, it's
2:30?
No, it's going to be 5 minutes. We're going to state our case for the very beginning, like just to introduce the topic, and then from there, maybe like 2 minutes in, we're just going to argue.
Okay.
We're going to argue. And then after the argument, we're going to concise and just break down, like sum up our argument for like 20 seconds.
Yep.
Jesse's going to have the timer, and Jesse's going to decide who won that argument. I think it's going to be a fun little thing.
Okay. All right, you guys ready?
You got the timer ready?
Yeah.
All right, let's get it.
Okay, first question. Best player 25 and younger. Go.
Yeah, that's a lot of players.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is. I'm trying to...
Probably the best player, without a doubt, who's under 25. I don't know how old Westbrook is. I want to say he's like 27 or 26. But it has to be Anthony Davis.
Okay.
It has to
Damn,
be.
I was-
You have to agree, Anthony Davis, because the guy's averaging like 30 and 15 this
Yeah.
season. Yeah, he's on a crappy team, but he is everything. The guy plays a phenomenal defense. I just seen a couple times he's been shaking and baking guards like
Like nothing.
like he's a guard. The guy's 7 feet. He's obviously he grew an inch this season. He can shoot the deep ball. He can pass. He's going to be the future of the league at one point. When when
Potential
Steph,
Hall of Famer.
yeah,
Well, Hall
when
of
Steph,
Famer, of
yes,
course.
when Steph and LeBron, go on, to retire, he has to be the face of the league.
Okay.
He's a full package.
All right, Christian?
I'm going to say, let me just double check the age here. I think I may be right. I don't want to say something wrong.
Who, James Harden?
No, I don't think
Hold
he's.
on.
I don't think he's 25.
No, I
and
think
younger.
he is actually.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. So Anthony
Right?
Davis is your
I,
lock?
Oh, it has to
can
be.
I say somebody who's at 25?
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard.
I love that. Thank you. You nailed
Kawhi
it.
Leonard. I just wanted to make sure everything was good.
Okay.
All right, we were talking about a guy who's carrying the Spurs tradition. Mm-hmm. A guy who came up as somebody who we knew Anthony Davis coming out of college. We had no clue about Kawhi. We're talking about a guy who's great defensively, picking his game up offensively. He's a freak. His wingspan, his hands are huge. His hands are huge. He been to the finals. He got the experience. Arguably an
Finals
MVP already right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in a great system. He's going down as another great player in the Spurs organization. Without a doubt, he's been under the privilege of being under Tim Duncan. He has Pau Gasol. He has Popovich, Tony Parker, Ginobili, Aldridge. He's under a whole bunch of great players. Anthony Davis got Tim Frazier, who I love, but he ain't doing nothing with that.
Yeah, but then that can just play against you because Anthony Davis doesn't have all these idols to look up to. He doesn't have a Hall of Fame coach or Hall of Fame players to guide him. This guy's doing it all on his own, and he's doing it younger.
That's true, but what happens when he does play with great players? Is that going to affect his game? Because
Probably
we've seen
not. Probably just gonna make him better.
No, we've seen Kawhi play with great players and still manage, and he's a great passer. We're talking about Anthony Davis, who has maybe he's doing all this just because he has to.
Yeah, but Anthony Davis was Rookie of the Year, and we already put him in MVP contention. He's only been in the season for
He's
3
not
seasons.
any MVP
You guys
contention.
have 1 minute left.
He
He
has
has,
to be.
he has no MVP contention. He's
Well,
on
just
he's on the worst team in the league.
Yeah, and that's what.
That's not an MVP. MVP will raise your stock up, not put your. He's in the dirt right now.
Yeah, well, you gotta look who Kawhi Leonard has around him.
All right, and Kawhi is just getting better and better every year.
Yeah, because he has options to get better. He doesn't. He has no one to pass it to.
Kawhi Leonard. Literally, did he not win? Did he win the Finals MVP when he
Yes.
won?
Yeah,
He's a Finals
2014.
MVP winner. We're talking about a guy who already been there, done that, and he's 25. He's only 2 years older.
But once again, he was already put into a great team. He was already put into an organization that was built.
All right,
for
but
him.
how did that hinder you and how great you are now? He is great. He's doing
And look
doing
at-
more than what
and
Anthony
Anthony
Davis is
did-
doing to his team.
Okay. That's it. Hearing both Christian and Jesus. I'm a little torn because Anthony Davis. I'll put my input on it now. Anthony Davis is pound for pound, obviously the best power forward in the NBA right now. Pound for pound, best power forward in the NBA. And then Kawhi Leonard. I mean, he's one of the most dominant small forwards in the NBA right now.
Most dominant players in the NBA.
Yeah. So is Anthony Davis. So.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Anthony Davis.
If I would have to pick based on whose argument, I'd go with my man Christian, because if you think about it, like he did have some valid points. He did play with Tim Duncan. He's playing with LaMarcus Aldridge, Pau Gasol.
So he gets guided
Tony
by
Parker,
Hall of Famers.
Manu Ginobili. He did win a Finals MVP. He does have a ring. He did win Defensive Player of the Year last year. He's been
twice.
We're talking about best right now.
You know
Maybe
what I mean?
Anthony Davis is best in the future.
Yeah.
He's one of the best players in the NBA.
And Leonard isn't? He's going to be above Anthony Davis in the MVP contention.
All right.
Just because where his team's at.
All right. That's one for Christian.
That's one question.
Next question is, out of the big three of the Golden State Warriors, 2 have to stay, 1 got to go. Clay, Steph, or KD?
Clay's going.
Wow.
I wouldn't.
And I'm talking about their play as of right now.
As of right now. I would just be surprised. I would kick Steph Curry out.
I agree.
To be honest.
You want to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Well, because
I got the timer.
Kevin Durant is probably, once again, second best dominant player in the NBA. Yes, Steph Curry does have range, but he has been exposed. Mm-hmm. He has no defense, basically. You know, it's all Klay Thompson on that side. Kevin Durant he can be a leader of the team. Obviously, we've seen him do it. OKC. It was spotty at times with Russell Westbrook, but look at him. He's leading the team in points, probably second in rebounds or first in rebounds, if I'm not mistaken. He's one of the most prolific scorers to ever play the game, 4 scoring titles. Klay Thompson he's a phenomenal player. He plays both sides of the court really well. Mm-hmm. I think if he goes to another team, he's an MVP, multiple-time All-Star.
Oh, of course.
Maybe even a scoring champ. When you score 60 points in 29 minutes and own the record for most points in a quarter, that's telling you something. I just feel like Klay Thompson hasn't got the time to shine. I would definitely stick with those 2.
I feel like
Yes.
I feel like Klay Thompson is much more of a greedy player. When he's getting all these numbers, all these points numbers, he's averaging 2 assists a game. All right, he's not a good passer.
He's hot.
He's a good defender. He's a good defender, and he's a good scorer. But he's not a great facilitator. Which Kevin Durant,
he's a good facilitator.
Yeah, but Kevin Durant could help off of a good facilitator. And I think Curry, you want to cut. You want to cut a 2-time MVP, 1 time being unanimous, a guy who helped. Without Curry, that Warriors team would not have been anything the last 3 years. You're talking about Klay, who is streaky, and he's not reliant. He's really not reliant. After that 60-point game, he could give you a 2-point game and shoot 1 for 12.
Because he don't touch the ball.
He could shoot as many shots and still be cold.
And remember who brought him to the NBA. Remember, Steph Curry was injured last year. Very injury-prone also.
He was injured for a few games.
Yeah, and he was the one who brought him back with the Thunder. Was it that game they were down 3-1?
And Curry was the one who sealed the deal.
But he brought him to that next game.
All right, but Curry was the one who sealed the deal and put him in a casket. The point is closing. And also,
And Steph Curry was the reason why they got put in the casket.
In the finals?
Yeah, because remember what they did? They singled out Steph Curry. They had to switch on Klay Thompson. And what happened?
A few minutes ago, you talked about how Klay could get hot so quick. As when Klay's hot, he's hot. But when Klay's cold, he is cold. He is colder than ice. He literally would miss every shot consecutively in a row. And it's not like he settled down his shot.
Yeah, but then you have KD right behind him.
You guys have 1 minute.
I say you would rather Curry, KD. I think Curry, KD, and Green is much better. When you talk about the defense missing, you already got KD and Green, which is great. You're gonna have some Klay is way too streaky. Curry just.
I just feel like most of the time he doesn't even get the ball to even touch the ball because you have 3 other All-Stars around him.
Well, you see what he does in 90 seconds. He could put up 60 points in 90 seconds. That's just Klay. He's a spot-up shooter. He doesn't dribble too much. He took 11 dribbles, and that was satisfying to him.
With a league that has great guards, because it's a guard-living
who is gonna pass for that team? Who's gonna play point guard?
KD can play point guard.
Then who's going to fill in that spot? They're already small as is.
You don't really even need a point guard. You need Steph Curry. The guy we average like 4 assists.
But who's going to play point guard? And Curry's not a terrible defender. Don't act like he's James Harden on the court.
I don't know. Most of the time,
Curry's small and he gets a lot of steals.
Yeah,
just because the other day he got, I think, 8 steals.
Yeah, now once again, that's on the double team. So he picks it away. Doesn't it wasn't like he played him 1-on-1 and picked his pocket.
Okay, that's gonna end that. listen to their both arguments again here. As of right now, I would have to agree with my man Jesus with picking Curry because, I mean, my boy Clay put up 60 in 90 seconds. You know what I mean? So, holding the ball, 11 dribbles, played 29 minutes in the game.
And remember, owns the record for most points in the quarter.
Yeah. And then my man KD, he, like you said...
Curry doesn't drop 50 here and there.
Yeah, I know, but he doesn't play defense. I agree with Jesus there. And, like...
When the best point guard come to town, Steph Curry isn't on him.
Yeah. And then, like you said before, like KD has the most points on the team right now, and he's number one in the MPA of MVP category. So I'd have to agree with my man Jesus on this one. So it's 1-1 right now.
Should have been 2-0, but
The Quiet Leonard. I'm glad Christian brought that up because that was honestly my pick as well. Okay. So I gave that to him, and then I gave it to you because Steph Curry right now. Clay's playing better than him as of right now.
No,
of
he's
course.
not.
Yes, he is.
Curry's averaging 27 and 6 a game.
But he just dropped 60.
That's one game.
But still.
That's one game.
All right. Okay.
Most of the NBA right now.
Is John Wall better than Curry? He just dropped 52.
No.
Could be. Just can't shoot like him.
Anyways, what's the next question?
Okay, this will break the tie here. Best NBA free agent come this summer.
Russell Westbrook. Oh, he got the extension.
No, he's signing the
It gotta be Steph Curry.
Steph Curry?
Gotta be Steph Curry.
Ooh.
Guy's a 2-time MVP. Obviously, we can see what he does. He's a champion. He's probably going to be the highest paid player next to if they can
next to LeBron
James. But once again, they got to make some moves. No, KD's locked in for 2 seasons.
No, 1 year option.
Oh, it's one. Yep. Oh, it's an option.
Okay, can I consider that?
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Well, I got to go with Steph Curry just because he's the leader of the team right now. You know what I mean? He has to be this face for the Golden State Warriors. Obviously, he has loyalty.
You done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, I'm actually not going to say KD. I'm going to say Blake Griffin. And I'm going to say that because I feel like he got the most potential taken outside the team. You just argued a whole round saying that Steph Curry wasn't really that useful and not that important and saying that he's not a great defender.
Still an all-star.
Yeah, but...
I'm just saying, if he would have left the team...
Wait. Let him talk.
And Blake Griffin got the most potential. We've seen what he could do with a team being held back a little by Chris Paul because Blake Griffin is almost like an Anthony Davis where he could run the ball up. Mm-hmm. He got good dribble moves. He's a great big man and he plays almost like a guard. Mm-hmm. He's a great player. He's athletic. He built off his jump shot. He expanded from just being a dunker. I hated Blake Griffin when he first came in the league. All he did was dunking and he got so much hype around his name. Mm-hmm. Then he built that mid-range and he's slowly expanding and building a three. And I feel like that progression, and we gotta remember, Blake Griffin, he was a rookie, in 2011?
Yeah, he still needs to work on his low post, in my opinion, because the way he played against Golden State was horrible.
He's younger than Curry, and granted, he's injury-prone. Curry's not any better injury-prone. Curry missed multiple seasons compared to Griffin, where his ankles aren't holding up, and his ankles still aren't holding up.
You can't forget Blake Griffin missed an entire season, though.
Are you arguing for him?
No, I'm just bringing that up.
Yeah, I'm just...
Has Blake Griffin ever been to the Western Conference Finals?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I feel like...
Has he ever been MVP contention?
We're talking about a free agent. This is a team that would want a person the most. And Blake Griffin is going to be attractive because he's been held back by the Clippers system where we already seen the best of Curry. We haven't seen the best of Blake Griffin yet.
That's what I'm saying. We've seen Steph Curry he's been 2 times already the best player.
Do you think Curry's going to win MVP again?
Throughout his career?
No.
If he goes to, if KD leaves the team?
Curry's not winning an MVP again. Blake Griffin has potential. You just said you like to see Blake Griffin leave this team because he got the potential to be
but not be
MVP.
the guy. He could be a good piece.
No, he can be the guy without a doubt. When we did the Clippers, who was the best player on the Clippers? Who did we say? Blake Griffin. We didn't say Chris Paul. We said Blake Griffin because Blake Griffin is the better player right now.
He's not the best player at his position though.
There's not many competing against him. Yes. I feel like he could go right up against Anthony Davis. He could go right up against LaMarcus Aldridge for sure. He could go right up against
Porzingis.
Oh, he's better than Kristaps Porzingis by miles. You're bugging with that argument. But yeah, Blake Griffin without a doubt.
He's already distant Knicks fan, so you got to know. I don't know. You got to think. You got to look at Steph Curry's resume. You know what I mean? Blake Griffin has nothing to bring to the table. A guy that hasn't even been to the Western Conference Finals. He has nothing to bring to the table.
See his stats.
And look at Steph Curry's stats. Look at his resume. What he can show you.
But his best years might just be behind him.
And you got to remember what the league is looking for. They're looking for a good 3-point shooter. You got the best maybe of all time.
This league is slowly turning into a big man that could dribble the ball and play like a damn near point guard, and that is what Blake Griffin is. He's one of them. He's arguably the first one.
Who's going to take this shot with 3 seconds left on the clock?
Blake Griffin doesn't have the potential to be that.
But who are you gonna give it, Blake or Steph?
Yes, I'll say Steph.
Okay.
But Blake Griffin, we're talking about a free agent. And even let's say a free agent. This is a team that needs a piece left. Why can't Blake be that piece? Maybe they don't want him to be the main star. But why can't he be that?
Main star.
Why can't he be that piece? A lot of free agent teams are just looking for one more piece, and Blake could be that. As in Curry, you're trying to pick up a star off rip, and then what? You can't get nobody else. If you sign Curry, your money's wasted on Curry. You can't sign nobody else.
Blake Griffin would be almost signed with the same amount of money.
He's not going to get Curry money.
Okay, all right, that'll end that.
Because Curry deserves Curry money.
Going into the summer here, it's going to be a big off season for NBA teams to pick up some talent. Definitely the biggest draw going into free agency. I would have to agree with Steph Curry. He's arguably the
You're not agreeing with the choice though. You're agreeing with the argument.
Yeah. I'm the reason why I'm agreeing with Jesus is because if you think about it, Steph Curry could arguably be the second best player in the league behind LeBron James.
You didn't say that. I'm talking about you. You got to agree with the argument. You can't agree with the choice you pick.
I believe that Steph Curry, like when people are looking at, okay, would I rather have Steph Curry on my team or Blake Griffin? And if they have the cap space and if they need that specific guard or big man, they're going to go with Curry.
Just to throw out this real quick, LeBron James technically isn't a free agent next year. He still has the option, but I don't see him leaving Cleveland. But between those two guys, yeah. I'm
just saying you got to agree with the argument. I could have picked Jeff Teague, and if I made a great argument, he's better. You know what I mean? Because I think
know about that one.
No, but I'm saying it's an argument.
Yeah,
but I already give facts. He's been to the finals. He's got an MVP. He's 2 MVPs. One of the best shooters to ever play the game.
The best shooter.
Literally, he's going to go down
I'm not saying that Blake Griffin is the best. I'm just saying that's what I was arguing. And you have to go with the argument. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You can't go with
the pick. Still
pick
pick me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I disagree. All right, we got somebody in the background. Louis, do you think Jesus won the argument as well?
I think he did make a better argument.
Thank you.
Because cool.
The whole Blake and Curry at the last shot, I think I will take Curry before Blake.
That's cool.
But Blake's jump shot has improved.
Yeah.
But he's not shooting that shot from 50.
All right. So
that's gonna be the end of the fast break segment.
I liked it. That was pretty cool.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Now, do you guys want to do that every week?
Yeah,
I'm down.
You want to do that every week? I like that. Maybe not every week because we might have weeks where we're filled with things, but we'll try to fit something like that. I love that. I love that.
I like doing it.
I like winning.
It won't happen next time. It will not happen.
It depends on the questions.
I'm gonna see you next time, and I'm gonna be the judge next time. All right, I'm gonna say it right now.
Switch it up?
Next week is gonna be Jesse and Jesus, double J's, and I'm gonna be the judge, and I'm gonna actually do argument and be a proper judge because Jesse don't know what the hell he doing.
Oh God.
Okay.
Sore loses.
All right. All right. In the heat of the moment, I decided to add 2 more questions because Christian's a sore loser here.
We do have extra time.
Yeah, and we do have extra time. Right off the bat, who had the better career so far, LeBron or Kobe?
Kobe Bryant.
You gotta go with LeBron James.
No.
Yes.
All right.
Let me start it off.
Go ahead.
Because you started it off with
all right, you're on the clock. Go.
We're talking about Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest of all time. We're talking about Kobe Bryant, who came up and he took the league by storm. So did LeBron James.
He won Rookie of the Year?
Wait.
Sorry.
Let him talk.
He came in the league. He came in the league very young, and that league was a different league back then than what it was now.
Came right out of high school.
And Kobe Bryant put the league by storm, winning the chip in, I think, in the second or third year. He became a dynamic duo with Shaq out the gate. He didn't have to wait a bunch of years to win a ring. He wasn't chasing a ring 10 years later, 5 years later. He never promised a ring to the Lakers. He got the ring for the Lakers, and he got 5 of them. LeBron is chasing that goal right now. He's chasing ghosts of other people because he can't set the precedent himself. And Kobe he's the one who put up 81 points. He's the one that drove Shaq away and still won a ring. Excuse me.
Two
He
rings.
still won 2 rings. Nevertheless, I don't want to add an argument, so don't interrupt me. but Kobe Bryant is the GOAT. He's the legend. He's the closest thing that we ever got to Michael Jordan, and he's the greatest Laker of all time. And that's saying a lot when we're talking about the Laker legacy. LeBron had to put the team on his back for most of the time. Kobe put crazy stats up while he had one of the greatest, most dominant players of all time on his team with Shaq. You could argue.
All right. We're going to talk about LeBron James. Probably the second greatest, arguably the greatest player of all time. Kobe, yes, he could arguably.
I'll let you finish.
Once again, all right. Kobe came out of high school, and I think he averaged 3 points a game.
I never said he was the greatest coming out of high school.
LeBron James was 18 years old.
Kobe was 17.
Okay, all right. LeBron was 18.
Because the next year, Kobe came back a different man.
Run Rookie of the Year, the same team, and brought the team to the playoffs. His very first season. He wasn't in the playoffs in 2004?
No, I don't think so.
All right, second season.
So did Kobe.
Shaq did. Yeah, stop that.
No interruptions. Come on, go.
Yeah, Shaq did that. LeBron James has 3 championships. Yes, he has a lot more finals lost than Kobe Bryant. But once again, he was not put around the All-Star group and have a Hall of Fame coach like
Phil Jackson.
Yes. This guy, obviously, what he did last year, beating probably the greatest single-season team of all time.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, 4 MVPs to Kobe's 1.
Which he should have had 2
Maybe.
against Steve Nash and 1 against Nowitzki.
Wait.
Maybe.
Save it.
Maybe. Then it's just saying LeBron could have beat Rose in that NBA MVP. LeBron James also has been to 6 consecutive
NBA finals.
NBA finals. I don't think every other player has done that. On 2 different teams. He won a championship with 2 different coaches. And I don't know, Kobe's last couple seasons were pretty spotty, not even making it to the playoffs. Okay, wait. LeBron James is the GOAT. There's so much more to that I can't even add on.
You want to know what there's so much more to?
acclimates.
LeBron James hasn't reached the point where he fell off. When LeBron James falls off, he might fall off dominantly because he doesn't have a shot to rely on. But Kobe
missed the most shots of all time.
That's great to know. Even when Kobe was falling off, even when he had the terrible team with Dwight Howard and Steve Nash, Kobe put the team on his back. He went 1 week averaging 34 points, 6 assists a game, and 5 rebounds as a 36-year-old man, 37-year-old man.
That sounds like LeBron's stat line.
Oh, yeah, LeBron never put up 34 points a game in a season. Kobe averaged 35 points a game in a season. Kobe's a better scorer than LeBron James. Got a better shot than LeBron James.
Who's a better performer, though? Who's going to have more
Kobe
rebounds?
Bryant had better performances as well. Kobe Bryant got the iconic 81 performance.
Against the bum-ass Raptors.
What did he do his last game out? He made one of the most iconic games of all time where everybody tuned into ESPN2. Who the hell wants to watch ESPN2?
Yeah, but did they make it to the playoffs?
That doesn't matter.
Did he do it all 50 shots?
We would have made it to the playoffs.
They didn't do it all 50 shots.
We did make it to the playoffs with a team that was meant for doom.
Like who? Dwight Howard and Steve Nash?
Yeah, that was.
Did LeBron make it to the finals with Eric Snow on his team? And was it
okay, but we're talking about an old Kobe who put the team on his back and tore his Achilles doing it.
Okay, we're talking about a 20-year-old LeBron James.
And you want to talk about what Kobe did that season. He averaged 8 points a game, which isn't amazing his rookie year, but it's something. He was still 17.
Did he get booed off the first round?
Yes, he did because he played terrible.
LeBron has never been booed off the first round.
He played terrible. He got booed when he went back to Cleveland.
But he got them a championship.
And
they haven't won one in 50 years.
Here's a quick question. Who would you rather take in the last
final
few
seconds
minutes of the game?
Kobe Bryant, way more clutcher. LeBron had the whole issue in the beginning of his seasons, how he couldn't finish a game. That just ended a few years ago. As soon as he won the ring.
Let's get this straight. So since LeBron, wouldn't it make more sense to? Obviously, you're going to double team LeBron James because he needs to be double teamed.
Kobe Bryant goes triple team and still score. Pass to himself
or miss. We know that.
Yeah, everything is either make it or miss.
So LeBron James, why wouldn't he just attract more people and then kick it out to a more efficient shot? Wouldn't that make more sense? That's still making a big play.
I understand what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. He obviously is going to attract more players.
He's the best player on the team.
But why would you take the shot then? I'm just saying, all right, if you had Ray Allen, one of the best shooters of all time.
He had the opportunity, and he passed up on every opportunity when he was younger.
Because he found the better shot.
Kobe Bryant didn't. He found the better shot. Why? He didn't find any more wins because that was the whole issue. He kept choking in games, and because of him choking, because of him turning over, because of him acting in foolery, he lost games, and that was the whole issue. LeBron could not finish games. That's why they had the argument back then: who was better, KD, LeBron? Who was better, Derrick Rose or LeBron? When Kobe Bryant was dominant in this league, there was no question who was better.
And the last couple seasons,
even when Nash won the championships, it was Kobe Bryant is the best player in the league.
Right. And remember, this is the reason why the Lakers suck. Is because they paid an old man who couldn't even bring him to the playoffs. So they gave him, $24 million a year when he wasn't even putting up...
He deserves that money.
In his last season, he didn't meant to go to the All-Star game. He just got voted in.
All right, that's out of pure respect. LeBron's going to get the same thing.
Well, LeBron James is probably going to go to the
not-
finals until he ends his career.
No.
The guy is
that's it.
32 years old with a 19-year-old body. That's just,
That's it.
Guy's Benjamin Button.
Wait till he leaves the league and can't shoot a damn jump shot for his life when he doesn't
He'll
have
just
that
post
freak of a
you up.
body.
Better career, hands down, Kobe. 5 rings. He has...
Off the argument, though.
Yeah, off the argument. He has an MVP.
How about 4 MVPs?
So?
So 4 times LeBron James is the best player in the NBA. Kobe only did that 1 time.
Do you really think LeBron is going to tie Kobe Bryant with
He
5
could.
rings? No.
Yes. If he wins the finals this year, then he's just 1 behind him.
It's not going to happen.
How do you know?
Because it's not. Look at the Warriors
teams
this
are
season.
too good.
Next year, you know what I mean?
LeBron James will go down as the 2nd best player of all time. Yes, Kobe is a great scorer and he's number 2, but once again,
Yeah, he'll be up there.
how
but
do you missed the most shots of all time?
So?
You
What's he, 3rd in scoring of all time, Kobe? Yeah. Right.
Okay, LeBron James
ahead of Michael Jordan.
and LeBron James right now is the youngest player to reach the top 10 in scoring.
Yeah.
So if he wants
He'll be
to,
up there too, I agree.
and he doesn't need an 81-point game because he's reliable. He hasn't even missed a half a season.
But at the end of the day, Kobe Bryant has a better career. Period.
How?
Watch when LeBron...
If LeBron wins 2 more finals, if he wins 2 more, and he's obviously the reason why they win, because
Then I'll give it
Kobe.
to LeBron James, hands down, because he has more MVPs and he'll probably have
So you
a
say
hell
the
of a lot
first
more
3
points by
wasn't due
then.
to Shaquille O'Neal?
All right, but you act like LeBron didn't have the chances to win. He coughed up rings.
Kobe did put up
against
stats
this-
when Shaquille and him did play. You do know that, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't the reason why they
All
went to
right,
the finals.
let's get
Part
into the
of it.
last argument. It's all on the table here.
All right.
We're at 51 minutes. Let's get
2-2.
when it's 5 minutes, hit 5 minutes.
2-2 between Christian and Jesus. Last one to break it up here. If we're celebrating Larry Bird's 60th birthday the other day, one of the best players of all time, in Larry Bird. My question is, if Larry Bird was in today's generation, do you think he would have played like his old self, or
Be as great as he was?
Yes.
I would say no.
I say yes.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll say yes because Larry Bird is a phenomenal player. The guy is probably one of the clutchest players of all time. He actually went to Pat Riley at one of the games against the Lakers and said, "Don't let me get the ball at the last moment." And the play was literally, "Do not let Larry Bird get the ball." And what does he do? He goes to the inbound. He has 3 guys on him, shoots the ball, and literally misses by an inch. When Larry Bird takes a shot, it's breathtaking because you think it's going to go in every time. You have guys, yes, he's not as physically dominant as guys like LeBron James and Russell Westbrook in the league today, but just he's a pure scorer. The guy can pass the ball really well, play defense. He's 6'9", so obviously he's going to post somebody up. He can still make big moves. I don't think he'd be an MVP candidate,
No.
but I do think he'd be a multi-time All-Star just due to the fact that the guy can play pure. And remember, the league, he's a physical guy. He played in the time when you got fouled and you just got right back
Yeah, he
up.
played against the bad boy Pistons.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
You
He played against the Showtime Lakers, which these guys are really physical. So that's
All right, when you say as great as he was, I'm expecting Larry Bird to keep the same stats. Maybe not win MVP, but keep the 25, 27 points a game stats, and he's not doing that in this league of players. He's 6'9", but that's not really an advantage nowadays because every player is huge and every player got a shot. Anthony Davis is 6'11", just dribbling down the court like he's a point guard. That's not happening. And you just described a moment of Larry Bird, and I was interested in it until I found out he missed. That's great. He missed the shot, though. Not interesting. Larry Bird would not be as good as he was. He wasn't athletic enough. He'll be, I'm not going to say, but like he reminds me of a damn Chandler Parsons, but when Chandler Parsons was good. He could be like a Dirk Nowitzki maybe, but I think he'll even be less of that because Dirk Nowitzki was more, he was a pretty dominant player. And Larry Bird has a good shot. He got some post moves. I just don't think if you put him into this era, he doesn't have enough. Because the 3-point shot is a very big thing now, and Larry Bird didn't even hit too many of those, to be honest. He was
He
a
had a
good
short career.
He had a short career, but he didn't hit too many of them, and that's the biggest shot of the game. What is he going to just take deep twos?
And his early career, the 3-point was just getting started too.
Yeah, I agree with that too, but
and then you got to think about too, the guy's going to drive to the lane and get fouled and go to the line, and he was a phenomenal.
And
free throw
correct me if
shooter.
I'm wrong. I think the 3-point line was already.
No,
in.
it was there, but 3-point wasn't
was
the
there.
first
It
option.
wasn't like he had any seasons without it. So like,
It wasn't the
If
first
you can shoot
option.
from that far and get 3 points, why not take it? I just feel like he wouldn't have it. He might win a few All-Stars, but he's not going past that. He's not going to carry over. It's a different ball game now. It's a shoot first ball game, and I don't.
One of the best scorers of all time.
Larry
He's not
Bird.
on the list of all time.
But the
scoring,
athleticism too. The athleticism is out the roof of
But
these.
remember, we talked about Dirk Nowitzki in 07 winning MVP, and he's not athletic at all. Can't jump over phone books.
He also had a great team around him.
Name one player.
Was that not the Steve Nash team?
No.
That was the Jason Kidd?
No.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
My argument.
nobody. Yeah, it just dropped. Yeah.
Michael Finley.
All right, damn.
You still got 2 more minutes.
Yeah.
I just don't think Larry Bird would carry over as people think he would. You think he's averaging 27 points a game?
Maybe. Because you got to think about the years that he played, he had big guys in there. He had Patrick Ewing, Kareem.
But
Kareem
that was
Abdul-Jabbar.
the standard of
Mutombo.
NBA back then.
Yeah,
Now
and this
it's
guy
a
used
different
to, that's what
standard.
I'm saying.
You can't last in this standard.
And he would drive to the court. He would drive to the rim and get fouled, make it in, or just go on and play the next play. I'm saying he would create contact. He's a great free throw shooter.
Yes.
We know he can shoot. We know he can shoot the deep ball really well. So that would be more acclimated in his game. So all right, obviously with analytics today, he would shoot the three more often.
He's not.
Back then, it was more of the post game.
He's not athletic enough, and his shot wouldn't hold up compared to some of these
Why
people
not?
now.
This guy was shooting guys who were 7 feet in their face.
Yeah, but that was a different ball game. The game now is all threes.
And he could do that.
50% of the Rockets' offense comes from threes. He's not going to be that player. He was a great shooter, but he's not going to be that player.
Why not?
I don't think he's going to hold up, and his athleticism isn't going to help him get to the paint because
Being
people are
6'9"
way too
helps you to the paint.
Giannis
And
Antetokounmpo.
look how soft the NBA is now. Obviously, he's going to create contact. He's going to go to the free throw line probably 5-6 times a game, and that's 14 points alone. Shoot a three a couple times, that's 22 points.
I just don't see him transferring over, averaging 27 points a game.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see that happening. There's no way that's
And
happening.
he's grabbing rebounds. Because you got to think about it. It was Kevin Durant, 6'11". He's 6'9". He's grabbing rebounds. He can play small forward and power
He's not going to
forward.
be on the level of Kevin Durant at all.
Probably not the speed, but he can shoot just as
He's
well.
He's not as
And a
fast.
clutch shooter.
He's not as fast as players today. He doesn't you see
That's
players
what I'm saying.
that
Dirk's not as fast, though.
players that transfer over.
When has Paul
you got
Pierce ever been a vicious player?
Magic Johnson could transfer over.
Mm-hmm.
Old Dennis Rodman could transfer over. Isaiah Thomas could transfer over. Larry Bird has a flawed game to that era. I feel like it's just like Bill Russell or Wilt Chamberlain coming to the game now where they wouldn't
how?
last.
How?
Just because of the standards of playing.
Will Chamberlain can play in the NBA now.
A lot of Larry Bird was his defense. He was a great defender,
Yeah.
but a lot of that defense wouldn't happen now. All that
How?
rough,
He'd be just as physical.
exactly, and that's a foul right there.
And he had to go against Magic Johnson. He had to go against Michael Jordan. All the guys who we're saying the greatest
LeBron
players
James
of all
wouldn't
time.
dominate Larry Bird.
He would probably dominate him on the offensive side. But
Kevin
he could
Durant
shoot.
wouldn't dominate Larry Bird.
Obviously when Larry Bird's
Giannis
on defense,
Antetokounmpo would block Larry
he
Bird all
can't
over
shoot.
the court.
No.
I said block Larry Bird all
Probably
over the
not.
court. He'll defend him ridiculously.
Why?
Because Giannis Antetokounmpo,
It's longer, but
Larry
he's-
Bird
he's-
hasn't seen anything like that. This is a different breed of players. We're talking about short. We're
How
talking
about-
about skinny,
what was
lanky
it? What's his
players
name?
that
Moons?
move down the court in 10 steps.
Was it
Not
Moons?
even 4 steps.
Moot Bowl. The dude was the tallest player in the NBA. He played against him.
Who the hell is Moot Bowl?
Matute Bowl. He's the tallest player to ever play in the NBA. He's probably like 7'7".
I think he played for the Nuggets.
Yeah, he played for the Nuggets. He played for the Wizards at the
here.
time.
I'm just
Bullets
saying,
at
who
the time.
who is he?
The tallest center of all time.
That's
He's putting
great.
shots over him.
That's great if you're playing against that, but that's not, your height doesn't determine skill. We're talking about
And
players
Larry
that are
Bird's very
tall
skilled.
and skilled. We're
Like,
talking about these
He was
players.
taking 3-pointers.
I'm not saying he's skilled, but the level of skill in this league
Would you say
are much higher.
Would you say the defense back then was more predominant than now? Because obviously people are putting up games 124 points is normal.
Yeah, it was a harder defense, but you also got to know it was slower offense. All offense is fast now, and Larry Bird could not keep up with the fast tempo of offense if he's way too slow, and his shot
You
would
act like
not
this guy
hold up.
is like an old man. Like he was running with teams. He was running with Michael Jordan. He was running with Magic Johnson. The Showtime Lakers, who were they
All right.
created the fast break.
Okay. Listening to both your arguments is really tough. Jesus you had really good points. Now going back to the question here, and Christian, you had very good points as well. I'm not gonna put you out there, but if you really focus on the question, if Larry Bird did play in today's generation, I don't think he would have played as great as he would have played back in the day, but he definitely would have been an all-star. So
I agreed.
I never said MVP. I did say an all-star.
No, I agree.
I said, as great as you played, I imagine you'd keep the
He
numbers.
would drop 27 points a game. Easy.
He would average that, you think?
Yeah, you guys got like Devin Booker who's averaging 25 points a game.
He's averaging 22 and he's cooking, and that's cooking for him.
And that's what I'm saying. The guy's 19 years old. Remember, when you were playing back then, guys were coming into the league 24, 25 years old.
Yeah.
Grown men. He basically playing a lot of little
But
kids.
the argument is done.
And I believe Larry Bird did play in the tougher brand of defense back then, and Christian did bring up a good point. They did play slower offense, and I totally agree. The way the offensive game is played in the NBA now is crazy. Like you said, people are putting up
130 points a game.
130 points a game, and if you keep a team under 100 points, like that's what they did like when they scored 80 points back in the day. You know what I mean? So I don't know. This is a tough one. Listen to both your arguments here, but
Do you think he would have been an all-star?
yes,
I think I said
I
that.
think he would be
said
an
that.
all-star.
That was the argument.
No, it was as great as he was.
But he's won MVPs. I don't think he would have won it. I said, would he be an all-star? That was the beginning. It wasn't, would he be an MVP?
It was at the question he said. We didn't discuss All-Star or MVP. We just said as great as he was.
Yeah.
He would be as great as he was. He would
I
drop
don't
25,
think- I don't
27
think so.
game. 27 points a game. Look at the guys you have now. Guys are averaging 30 points a game.
I just don't think he would. I think he would be an all-star without a doubt, but he wouldn't be as great as he'd be.
So is he dropping 22 points?
I'd give him that. Yeah,
Ooh.
I'd give him over 20.
I'll give him slightly.
You guys got to
over
watch
20.
his. I know you guys are not watching Larry Bird tapes.
I seen.
Well,
him.
I've
seen
I
Larry
him.
Bird. He's one of
Because
the
I'm
greatest
trying
players
to
of all
understand
time.
the fascination.
Of how great of a shooter he was, how great of a scorer he
In
was.
the 80s, that 80s is a different time. That was a era of. So who's winning the argument?
I'm giving it to Christian.
Any
too young.
take on it, Louis?
It's pretty hard to say. 'Cause
Yeah, like it's real tough.
Yeah, it
I feel
is.
bad because I don't want to
I
give
feel
it.
like he could be
Oh, wait.
a good player because, like he said, Dirk, he was an MVP.
He won an
That was-
MVP.
and they're almost similar players.
But based off arguments,
Yeah, you made a better argument.
Yeah,
two to
it was
zero.
very close.
Yes.
I mean, you did beat me the first half.
First
until we
couple,
had-
yeah.
Technically,
Till we
he won
added-
more. Absolutely.
But yeah, this series, I had a blast doing it. This is definitely going to come back around.
Yeah.
But this is going to be the end of this podcast.
Do you wanna do
Let's just
upcoming
get to the
games?
upcoming
Yeah, okay.
games. Yes, sir. You already know the deal.
Trailblazers at Indiana. Pacers.
Pacers. They've been impressing me lately.
Yeah, Trailblazers been slipping.
Charlotte Hornets at Cleveland.
I gotta give it to Cleveland. You're not gonna go back on a losing streak. They're on a hot note.
Okay.
I give it to Cleveland as well, but would not be surprised to see Hornets pull off something.
Miami Heat and Chicago.
Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. The only reason the thing is even
Wade's
the question
going.
is
Wade's
Cousins.
playing the Heat.
Boston Celtics against OKC.
I gotta give it to OKC. I mean, OKC definitely. What Russell Westbrook's doing. Have you seen their ball movement on their team? They're looking solid.
Where is it at?
OKC.
Give me the Celtics. Celtics been on a roll lately.
All right. New York Knicks against the LA Lakers
Knicks.
in LA.
Lakers. What day is it? How far?
I'll quote it right now.
Sunday, December 11th.
I'll quote it right now. Christoph Porzingis is gonna drop 25 in that game.
I might have to go with the Knicks only because Lakers are very injury riddled right now.
Okay.
D'Angelo also might be coming back soon.
Nobody
so
can hold Christoph Porzingis though.
Okay.
Randall would dominate that boy.
Trailblazers against. Wait, what?
Wait for it. Randall's gonna lock him up. He's gonna
Who?
baby him. Kristaps Porzingis.
Randall's barely good.
Oh, watch your mouth.
Watch
your mouth.
Trailblazers against the Clippers. Now you got to remember the Clippers have been struggling.
It has to be
lately.
the Clippers.
Trailblazers.
I'm gonna give that to Trailblazers.
Dame Dollar's gonna go off.
Oklahoma City Thunder against the Trailblazers again.
OKC.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Indiana Pacers against Miami Heat.
Pacers.
Pacers.
Lakers in Brooklyn.
Lakers.
Why is this a question?
Well, you never know. Brooklyn beat the Clippers.
No, Lakers is spotty.
Well, Lakers are spotty because they're injury prone right now.
Okay.
Lakers.
Last one: Boston Celtics against the San Antonio Spurs.
Where at?
Why Leonard?
San Antonio.
You know what?
Remember, they're second in the division. Spurs versus Celtics.
Boston Celtics are healthy right now, and I feel like they're gonna get it together. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go Boston. I'll just be a little
I agree.
outlier. Is that the
That's
last?
it. That's it. Yeah.
All right, guys. I hope you had as much fun listening as we had doing it. 'cause-
Discussing,
debating.
having fun.
Yeah, that
arguing at each
fast
other.
break segment. Yeah, that one's a keeper. Let us know what you think. Comment Just keep us updated. If you got any questions, ask along. We'll debate it. Next week we will try to install it again. And
Of course.
next time you will hear us, we will be college and final free.
Yes.
So that means it's only going to get better.
Coming out with a mixtape.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
dropping dimes.
All right, guys. You guys got anything left to say?
Nah.
I'm just
right.
looking forward to
Peace.
college being over with.
That's
Yes,
really
it's
it.
for damn
I'm,
sure.
I'm looking forward to watching every NBA game and having the
Yeah.
time to. Because I can't see
Julius
these,
Randle's a bum.
anyway, I can't see these West Coast games a lot because of school the next day. So
Yeah.
can't wait to get my life back.
Me too.
And beat Jesus in 2K constantly because he can't hold me.
Remember-
I'll probably turn that on right now.
Remember who won last game?
Oh, that was a good game.
The
That was a good
GOAT.
game. All right, well, let's see how you perform in front of everybody.
All right, peace.
All right, guys, we're out.
All right,
Have a
peace.
good one.